Y'all ready to get it? Are y'all ready to get it? You see that title? I want to come on here earlier today, but we've been literally in the trenches working with the printer and the international distribution team, and we're getting everything dialed in. But look at this title. You know, Lena walked in probably about 4 hours ago, and she said, everything's done. She says, I just did the final sign off, going to go. I then put the call in to the director of the printing firm, the one who runs the whole deal, and asked him to give me a call. So he gave me a call back. He and I discussed the project. I said, listen, this is I don't know what you think, don't believe. It's neither here nor there. I said, but to us and to many around the world, this is the most important project in the world. I need you to do the best you can to expedite everything. We've signed off on it, where we're at. He says, well, we got you down to about 20 days, 20 business days from today to fully print it and ready to ship out. We began to talk some more, negotiated, went back and forth. By the time I got off, he said we were at 15 days. I said, if there's anything you can do to expedite even the 15 days, we will pay you extra money. He goes, I understand that. He goes, we got large production runs that are running. I understand the importance. I'm glad you and I talked. I said, listen, there's a lot more business we're going to do over the years, but this is critical. And so I did my thing as far as negotiating. So we are fully approved. The prototype is fully approved. Everything is signed off. It is now going into full production. We are about within 15 business days to where they will begin to start shipping to everybody that was package qualified. Let me explain what's going to happen, the timelines, and for everybody that wasn't package qualified that want to get their hands on the regular print. We got a very special soft cover coming out in regular print. So we have the hard cover. So we ran from November the 9th, 2023. So all the brand new people who's watching now live and on the replay, so you'll know the progress of what's happening. So from November the 9th, 2023, we kicked off the True Scriptures, Bariyt Hadash. That's the sign name for that is New Testament. You know it as the New Testament. The real name is Bariyt Hadash. The real New Testament, we ran a campaign. We started off with a 7-week run. We said, let's see what the response is going to be. Now, when we kicked that campaign off, after about 3 years of Promote the Truth being on YouTube, we had around 13,000 subscribers to our channel. Fairly good, right? 3 years. It's against the grain subject. I mean, we're completely going against all organized religion. We're bringing the truth to the world. You know how that goes in the world, the truth. People try to avoid it overall. Most people try to avoid it at all costs. So you know you're going up against something. But see, Yahuwah he's put a hunger in the earth for his final push. I'm watching it. I've been watching it for 17 years now. So I called on Yahuwah 17 years ago. So we started off at around 13,000 subscribers. So we ran a 7-week campaign that went from November the 9th, 2023 to December the 31st, 2023. And we did some special bonuses for anyone that got package qualified. So at tsnt.org is where we were running the main campaign. People could go over, get between a bronze and a diamond package, and they could accumulate their way to get more benefits. So you're not buying the scriptures. You're not buying any T-shirts or any of our swag and merchandise. What you're doing is you're supporting the project. See, we didn't know how many people really were going to get behind and support the project. At that time, we had a few countries, from different parts of the world that would email in, over the course of the years. I'd probably say about 15 countries or so over the course of 17 years, almost 17 years. Well, my wife came to me and she said, with the campaign, you should go live on YouTube. From time to time, I used to go live on Facebook on my personal page, as a matter of fact, not even on the Promote the Truth page. So she said, you need to go live. She goes, I feel in the spirit, you need to go live on YouTube. So somewhere around November, I went live on YouTube and we talked about the campaign. Once we talked about the campaign and we went live, many of you started showing up. I didn't know hardly any of y'all. Well, people started showing up from all over the world. So now it's over 70 countries. And we went from 13,000 subscribers to within about 8 months. Right now we're hitting over 110,000. Do y'all just remember last week it was 100,000? Right? It's now over 110,000 subscribers on YouTube, just grassroots, primarily just going live. Going live. So we'll teach you all about Elohim. There's no such thing as Elohim, as pagan. So what is that? Mitchell Aslan? You want to say Alua, not Elohim. We'll teach you more. I know where you're coming from, brother. Big, big love. Shout out to everybody coming in. So listen, we just going live, grassroots, talking to each other about the project, being completely transparent and letting everyone know. So people was going, well, what's happening? How you going to do it? Where's it coming from? I mean, we got all kinds of questions came in at first, because what most people didn't know is around 2 years ago, I started translating the Tanakh. That's the Old Testament. Yahuwah told me in my spirit, he says, you are qualified to translate because you keep translating the translation. You put the time in, son. You've been walking with me for almost 17, at that time, 15 years. There's hardly anybody on earth. I had to go, he had to prove it to me. Because nobody. Shout out, Michelle. Is that Michelle? Am I saying it right? Michelle or Mike Michelle? Kind of spell it out so I know how to say your name. Want to welcome you here to the channel, right? And I'll put it in the chat. So, right, it'd be YAHUAH, the Alua, A-L-U-A-H. Yeah. There you go. So watch. Y'all just catch the story, because and you can go back. What I love about this evergreen setup that YouTube's got, if you go over on the Promote the Truth YouTube page and you click the live tab, so you'll see videos, you'll see live. If you click live, you can see back in November when we started doing there you go, Michelle. Spell out your name so I'm saying it right. Am I saying it right, Michelle? Just let me know. And is it a guy or a girl? Is it a man or a woman? Tell me which one. So you can go back and see it. You can go on the journey with us. See, while you're waiting on the true scriptures to hit your house, guess what you do? The best thing you can do, don't pick up no bucket of trash King James. That's trash. All the other versions that we found in English have some shape, form, or fashion been corrupted by Greek influence or Judaism influence. Talmud, the people who killed Yahushua, right? All the other people, all the other translations. Now, we didn't all know it. I had a great idea about it. I've been searching for years. I've been buying every single thing that came out. You understand? I was buying everything. I keep bringing the receipts. I show y'all one after the next. I started getting the originals as far back as I could, right? Having the Pshitta, having the Codex Leningrad, right? The Torah Shema Ranit, having all these different versions. And so I had a good idea that I knew most of the translations were jacked up. I just kept praying and hoping that I would find somebody who went on and just laid it out correctly. And I knew, you can go back 17 years ago, even on our site, we've got the origins of the New Testament. It's Aramaic and Hebrew. That's been up there for almost 17 years. We've been saying that. We knew that ain't no way in the world that the origins of the New Testament, Bariyt Hadash, could come from Greek. We knew. That's just common sense. That don't take no rocket science to figure out that Yahushua, when he walked on the earth, Yahuwah came to earth as Yahushua, like he said he would, and walked it out. Brother Marvin, he been here with me. A lot of these, look, we become a family together, grassroots, for real. This is very special when you come in here. This is a fact. You are on set apart, digital, spiritual, which is thicker than physical. You are on digital, but more importantly, spiritual set apart ground. That's where you're at. When you come into the Promote the Truth platform, you are stepping on spiritual set apart ground. And I'm telling you, it's thicker than physical. They say blood is thicker than water, but spirit is thicker than blood. Yahuwah said, you must worship me in spirit and in truth. And at Promote the Truth, we do both of those things. Back to the story. Marcel said, I've been following since 2018. Man, you see the journey. So here we come on the journey. Now, what most people didn't know is I was translating the Tanakh starting a couple years ago. In May of 2023, we announced this a campaign for the True Scriptures as a whole, and we set it up on the Donor Box platform. And we did an announcement on a set apart gathering. We sent an email to the database, and then people was doing some supporting. You know, that whatever they could, they chip in a little bit. And I was spending an average about 2 to 3 hours a day for over a year translating the Tanakh, starting in Genesis, Bariyt. Now, I had to get my rhythm. I had to make this bulletproof. Yahuwah said, you got to make this bulletproof. Where you got to be willing to give an account for the faith you have. You're going to have to do this to show yourself approved. I didn't fully understand what all angles he was coming from with me on that. I didn't know it. I just knew I had to be approved. I knew once we said we're going to do it, because let me tell y'all something. I didn't go, hey, I want to do this. Otherwise, I would have done it from the beginning. I knew how to translate 17 years ago, as far as understanding the Aramaic, because I came off of 6 to 10 hours a day for 3 years. So from 2004 to 2007, for real, 6 to 10 hours a day, I was studying the origins of languages, the origins of words, the original languages, the Paleo Hebrew, the modern Hebrew, which is like an Aramaic, right? Man, I'm telling you, I was digging Latin, Greek, and I was buying all these scriptures, the Codex Sinaiticus, Codex Vaticanus, Codex Alexandrius, Codex Corinthus, Aleppo Codex. I got all these things. So I go back, and I could have done it a long time ago. I never felt a call on me to do it a long time ago. I felt a call to put a good website together, put great information together, and then do SEO, search engine optimization, because nobody hardly knew about Yahuwah's name, and then organically get his name out there. And then you start seeing more and more sites pop up, and then people start doing some YouTube channels, and I was watching them. The language they were using was the stuff that I was writing, that I taught, that the Spirit of Yahuwah taught me. The Ruach taught me how to write this stuff. So I started seeing other people putting it out there. And then it was a movement of more and more people calling on Yahuwah. I watched it with my own eyes. I watched from 0 results in Google and YouTube in May of 2007. 0. Nothing. I watched it go from 0 to thousands. What would you do if you were me? Would you know he's coming? If you saw 0, then you start seeing where his name has been throughout movies all these years. A lot of different museums, even these pagan churches. Yahuwah's name has been here forever. The 10 Commandments, one of the most heralded movies of all time with Charleston Heston. When he's sitting up there he's got those 2 tablets, the 10 Commandments. Yahuwah's name, this right here, you see this name on my necklace? That exact inscription is on them stones that Charleston Heston is holding. Now, I watched that since I was a little bitty boy. Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's sitting right there. Yahuwah's name has always been here. How come we didn't know it? How can it be right in front of our faces and we didn't know it? What in the world is going on? Huh? How could we have it in front of our face? Your mama, your daddy, your grandma, granddaddy, pretty much every one of them watched that movie, 10 Commandments. Yahuwah's name sitting right there in front of their face. Why didn't nobody pick it up? Well, the scripture says in Revelation, in Hazum chapter 3, he's going to renew his name. I think it's verse 12. And so what's happening, like Sister Eileen says, people were blinded. Now Yahuwah has called some people. I'm one of them, for a fact. I can't even, it's proven now. If y'all been out here with me for the ride, you go, yep, Yahuwah called that dude. He had to call me. There's no way I can know what I know. There's no way I can know what I know. If the spirit of Yahuwah had not called me and came and resided in me, there's no way. I know too much. I don't even have to think about it hard. It will just come to me like this. Scriptures, just like I can read one scripture to tell me all the other ones that are connected to it. It's got to be the spirit of Yahuwah. So it took me a year, fam. A year just in the trenches, getting my rip. Now, let me tell you what I had to go up against. I had to overcome vowel points. The Masoretes, they created, these are Pharisees. Y'all know the people? The real name is Parashim. The Pharisees, the Parashim, they're the ones that killed Yahushua when he was here. Okay? They came up with the book called the Talmud. That's their primary thing that they follow. It is traditions of men and women. It's against Yahuwah. All right. So they came up with that process. What they also came up with is a way to try to monetize and set themselves completely apart with the priesthood, that the only people that could say the name was a priest in the Aikal, in the temple. And you had to pay your homage in order for the priest to say Yahuwah's name. Now they've come up with all kind of excuses saying they were mocking Yahuwah's name when they got taken into Babylon. All of that is bull crap. They're gonna mock, sinners are gonna mock Yahuwah no matter what. That don't mean you stop doing what he said do. True? If he said my name is to be proclaimed, what does proclaim mean? Let me get a dictionary. Let's get a dictionary. What does proclaim mean? Proclaim. Pay attention. That's right, Marcel. It's real. Proclaim. To announce or declare in an official or formal manner. To announce or declare in an open, ostentatious way. They put another big word in there. Emphatic. Proclaim. To indicate or make known publicly and openly. So if Yahuwah tells Masha to write these words down, them first 5 books, Yahuwah dealt hands-on with Masha through him and his messengers to write down these words. And he said, my name is to be proclaimed throughout all generations. As a matter of fact, he said, I'm going to bring you out of Matzar, out of misery, Egypt. I'm bringing you out. And the reason I'm doing it is for you to proclaim my name throughout the entire world. Okay, what's proclaim mean again? To announce or to declare in an open or ostentatious way, to indicate or make known publicly or openly, to extol or praise publicly. So another definition of proclaim is to what? To praise publicly, to declare. Okay, so Yahuwah says, praise me publicly. Make my name known publicly. Praise my name publicly. Indicate it. Announce it. Declare it in an official and a formal manner. I want my name out there on Front Street, what Yahuwah is saying. But then the Parashim who killed him when he was Yahusha on the earth, they say, no. Nobody can say his name except the priest. That's what they say. Yahuwah says the exact opposite. So what these people did is they got a little group of their rabbis, they call them, or whatever, translators. Woe to you, Parashim and scribes. Yahusha was telling us when he was here. He kept saying, hey, everybody, woe to these people. Beware of these people. They get together and say, we're going to create a system called vowel points. Nikud. We're going to do a Nikud system. We're going to put these little marks and we're going to come up with our own equation. And so when the aleph bat, right? You got the aleph, the first letter, the tau, the last letter. Okay. So the A, the first letter, the T, the last letter. We're going to come up with the aleph bat. And what we're going to do is we're going to change the pronunciation at certain times. And I'm going to tell you, they're not going to come out and say this on Front Street. But I am willing to bet my life on it. They were like, we got to keep people from saying Yahuwah's name at all costs. So what we'll do is we'll create saying different ways of different letters at different times based on different rules. And it ain't that complicated. That's why I love the Spanish language, because the vowels are always pronounced the same. That's why I love the Abari, real, authentic, paleo, and even modern Hebrew, because if you don't have any vowel points, those vowels, just like in Spanish, are always pronounced the same. Now, English is kind of like a Masoretic type of a language, because the letter A in English, you can pronounce it how many different ways? A letter O, how many different ways? A letter I, how many different ways? It changes. So we had to learn this very distorted, complicated way of speaking in English. We had to learn that. And that's what they did with the vowel pointing system to make it real complicated. But if you take them vowel points, listen to me. We take these vowel points, we bundle them up, and we throw them in the trash. Yahuwah hates vowel points. Yahuwah is against vowel points, against Nikud. Tell them, get every person you know that wants to go talk about Hebrew. That's why people go, I want to go learn Hebrew. I'm like, more than likely you don't. Not the way you think, not what's all out there. Because every 99% of all Hebrew teaching today is vowel point based. So you're going to go on a whole other train. And it's going to take you as far away from Yahuwah as possible. Well, see, when I was translating, I got the Codex Leningrad, but it's got the vowel points in it. That's the oldest complete Old Testament in the world. But I've also got several copies of Dead Sea Scrolls. And I got something very unique. The Torah Shamaranit, the Samaritan Pentateuch. Ooh, that's a big one. Because those people like to keep it simple. And they wrote it without any vowel points. And in the Dead Sea Scrolls, there's no vowel points. You know, those Parashim hated the Dead Sea Scrolls. Hated the Dead Sea Scrolls when they got found. You know, they were like, oh my goodness. Why do you think the Catholic Church, did y'all know this? Huh? So, all right. Raw, you don't know what you're talking about. Zero. Don't know what you're talking about. Don't know. Listen, when you come in to promote the truth, do us a big favor. Come in to learn. Just come in to learn. Like you're dealing with 30 years of scholarship, 17 years of following Yahuwah. And I'm sitting there telling you how I got to. And then somebody goes, well, if there ain't no vowel point, you can't get no Yahuwah then. What kind of? I didn't say there's no vowels. I said there's no vowel points. Points change the way you say the vowel. It's just, I'm telling you, man, I be trying to be like a gazillion pounds understanding. But let me explain to my family, and I'm telling y'all, we got a special group in here. You can't just run up in here talking trash. The snipers, the true snipers are sitting on the roof. They'll be like, look, it's okay. You don't have to agree with us, but we're not here to get you to agree. We're here to share with you information of what we know to be true and attract the people that want to rock with that. We ain't going to hate on you. You will never, ever, never, ever catch me or anybody in our clique, anybody in our team, anybody team Yahuwah for real going onto your channel talking trash, even if we don't agree. I can go blow people up all day on channels. I can go blow them up. I can just go ask them 4 or 5 questions, and they'll for sure kick me out of it. Because truth is common sense. Truth is common sense. All right, back to it. So it takes me a year. And I have to sort through and just get all the vowel points out. And once I got a rhythm, I got it. That took me 1 year to translate 50 chapters. That's 50 chapters. 1 year. That's the whole book of Genesis. 50 chapters. Book of Genesis. All 50. Took a year. Once I got rid of and understood the flow of getting the vowel points out, that's why we're coming up with our own Hebrew class. We're going to do our whole powerhouse. As soon as the true scriptures are done, the next project is teaching people real Hebrew. How many of y'all would like that? How many of you would like that course? We're going to teach them real Hebrew. It's so easy to understand. I'm going to put together a very simple course in Hebrew, and we're going to have thousands of people know how to speak real Hebrew. It's going to drive Shaitan and the Parashim, going to drive them nuts. They're going to be like, what? Oh my goodness. And guess what? When we say these words, they got power. See, real Hebrew words, they got power. Yahuwah, that's a real Hebrew word. It's got power. It makes people stop. Baruch Abba Hashem Yahuwah. Malakuta di Shamia. See, when we talk that real Hebrew, it's got power. So I had to go a whole year to tighten up and get us in a position where we can go teach people. Don't be so quick to come to teach. That's why when people come up in here, you got to go. You ain't got to go home, but you for sure got to get out of here because you can't run up in somebody's house, somebody's platform, and be rude and think you're going to hang out. Ain't going to happen for an inch. because we would never do it to you. And we only show people love. That's it. We only show people love and promote the truth. We don't hate on nobody. We don't talk trash on nobody. So but guess what? Whether you like us or not, that's up to you now. Y'all know that's a personal decision. Whether you like the truth and how we deliver it, that's up to you. Whether you respect us or not, now that's up to us. I've taken that position my whole life. I ain't never took no stuff off of nobody. That's why I love Yahuwah. That's why I hate God. I hate Jesus. Hate him. Because they teach you to be weak. They teach you to get trampled. Why do you think so many people got crushed? What do you think them dark ages was about? That somebody infiltrated and say, hey, turn that other cheek. Well, you wait till you read the True Scriptures translation to where you learn that the people of Yahuwah, they strong people. They defend themselves. Ain't nobody walking over no real Yahuwah. Ain't gonna happen. Real Yahuwah is got like that samurai type spirit. You know what samurai means? Servant warrior. Real followers of Yahuwah are servant warriors. It says that the meek will inherit the earth, not the weak. The meek. The meek means the humble. The humble, but boy, I'm sitting over here with a sword. Did they say, hey, Yahusha, we got 2 swords here? He said, that'll be enough. How come he didn't say, don't even talk to me about them swords? Because he know there's sometimes, as a matter of fact, there was many times. How you think they got how you think they took over the promised land? How y'all think? How did they take over the promised land? Did they walk down there and the people go, whoo, they serve Yahuwah. We better run and get out of here. Nope. They went down there and slayed all them people. Without any remorse. Men, women, children. Anybody that call on the name of Yahuwah, how it got established is you out of here. Yahuwah said, I'm going to deliver them into your hands. What, like for real. Not no spiritual warfare. They went down there with real swords and took people out. Don't nobody teach that Yahuwah. Don't nobody teach that creator. It says that Yahuwah is a man of war. He don't take no stuff. Yahuwah don't take no stuff off of nobody. He will burn you up in a second. That's why we don't rock with none of that other weak stuff. We teach the real stuff. Now, back to the story. Y'all got the tempo. Y'all already see I'm turned up. Why? Because it's go time. Look at the title. The sword of Yahuwah, the word, the real word. You must worship me in spirit and in truth. Well, the truth is what? How do you know what the truth is if you got a bag full of lies? If you're rocking the King James, you can't say I stand on the truth. If you got an NIV, you can't say it. If you got an Amplified, you can't say it. You just name a version, we're gonna look right at you and go, you can't stand on that. How do we know? We done proved it over these last 8+ months. Hundreds of thousands of people done been through here. We had about 2 million views. You know how many people we've been setting up in here and we've been putting scriptures up on the screen going, go get whatever translation you want. There's around 70 different English translations out there. I think at least 70. And nobody's been able to rebut not one thing that we point out that's a distortion. Not one. We put it up, we're going to show y'all this. Go find whatever you want. Even if the people, they cleaned up the names. They got good intentions. But you gotta study. That's why Yahuwah told me, hey, don't you run out there too fast. Don't you run out there too fast. So I'm okay. He set me in the cut, like my granddad used to say. He set me in the cut for about a year to get that translation tight. Then it took me a month to do Exodus. That's Shamu. Then I was on a pace of about 3 weeks to knock out Leviticus, Uruguay. And right when I got halfway through it, we start getting all these, just like these little silly comments that pop up from time to time. People start sending little silly comments like was questioning stuff, and almost all of it is in the New Testament. And A lot of these people are pompous and they're arrogant because you know what? They're coming out of Jesus. Jesus is prideful. Jesus is full of pride and arrogance and meanness. They be talking about love, but they're nasty. Y'all ever notice it? Nasty people. They think they can rebuke everything without first coming in love. They took that, boy, they got to read that one verse in their jacked up translation that talked about rebuking, and you see them running all over the internet trying to rebuke people. Think about that. It's just that simple that you got to be humble and you got to treat people the way you want to be treated. So if you, hey, listen, you don't agree with everything somebody's doing, but you're not going to just walk up in somebody, hey, I don't agree with that. You would never do it to anybody's face. But then you get these internet tough people. They want to go, hey, hey. But see, that shows that demonic Jesus spirit is rocking in your soul. It's not like that with Yahuwah. If you study Yahuwah, he's not like that. He's wanting everyone to come. He's patient, kind. You approach people with respect, with honor. So when we start getting all these different emails in, several of them disrespectful, and they're quoting the Greek-based translations, which are Zeused up to the max. And so I said, wait a minute. And I was in the shower and it was quiet. And I could hear a voice say, stop what you're doing in the Tanakh. Go translate the Bariyt Hadash first. Finish it. Then come back to the Tanakh. You know it's 400 some thousand errors. We've been able to research and come up with there's about 400,000 errors in just the New Testament. Almost every New Testament Bariyt Hadash you see in the world is originated out of approximately 400,000 errors. Fam, how can you stand on that? How can you be bold in that? You know what they are? They feeling people. Just the feel. I feel it. No, it's your pride. Satan got a stronghold on you because you ain't coming to show yourself approved. You saying I feel it rather than I can prove it. And so I said, all right. Now before I did it, we had a set apart gathering. You can go back and watch this all come together. Sometime May of last year, maybe April, May or April last year, 2023. And we said, look, this is what we're thinking of doing. What y'all feel? Everybody's like, absolutely. We're going to do a campaign. That's why I talked about we're going to do a campaign and start spreading it out there. Because I have been translating, and now we got there and we were doing it tonight, and then we get up to November, and then we're going to have to go do the Bariyt Hadash first. So we hold a little meeting, and several of y'all were there, and y'all were like, heck yeah, let's do it. Now, y'all want to talk about, it's a whole range of feelings that happens here and emotions because it's so over the top. If y'all brand new, listen to me, y'all got to listen. That Bible you got that you call a Bible, which is a pagan word, that Holy Bible, 2 pagan words, is King James based more than likely. They just put some lipstick on it. They remove some names, remove some stuff around. They come up with a gazillion versions because they can't get it right. Because they're dealing with 400,000 errors. Now, I'm sitting there the whole time with the Pshitta. You ever heard of the Pshitta? The Pshitta is a family of books. There's about 360 of them. Now, this is how you come and you bring your receipts. You prove it. You show yourself approved. The New Testament of almost every translation you see in the world is based out of what's called the majority text. The majority text is the minuscule Greek. It's the capital letters, lowercase letters with spaces. Okay? Now, this is where they lose credibility. This is where all the Christians and all the churches and all the theology schools, all of them lose credibility right here. Before we even get them, right? Before we even get them to the real stuff, the Aramaic and the Hebrew, they can't pass the Greek test. This is what's bizarre. True? We proved it on this channel. Go back through the lives. Like, don't read all the scriptures. If you got you a good pad out and a pen, or you got you a good note, you got your notepad, your Word doc, I'm telling y'all, you would take yourself to less than 1% of knowledge of true scriptures in the world. You would put yourself in like the 1% category if you went back through the last 8 months of lives and you took meticulous notes. Rather than ask a bunch of questions, go study. I've already taught it. And we just sit there and we start talking to people. And what I started showing people is that the Christians and organized religion, they can't pass the Greek test. They can't do it. Because they went with the majority text method based on the minuscule Greek, capital letters, lowercase letters, spaces, unsealed, majuscule Greek. Matter of fact, y'all gonna make me go get some more receipts tonight. That's what I'm gonna do. How many of y'all want me to go pull out some receipts on them? I'm gonna go over here and get the Codex Sinaiticus. Now see, the church, for those of you that are still hooked on Jesus and on God, and you got pastors that keep preaching that mess, and theology schools, and they're pompous about it too, almost all of them. They can't pass this test I'm getting ready to give you. They can't pass it. They're going to fail miserably. They're going to fail. Why is the true scriptures such Richter scale off the charts? It don't deal with none of this nonsense. You can't tear it down. It's backed up by the real deal. Now, hold on. I'm going to go grab the Codex Sinaiticus, okay? And I'm going to show you how your Christian church, your pastors, and all these other nonsense, pompous people, they can't even get past the Greek test. Watch this. Hold on. I'm over here giggling, man. Y'all made me get these receipts. That done made me get some receipts. Every now and then I'll be like, because I'm not going to sit on here and just keep pulling this stuff out left and right. Go back and watch the videos. But I got it for days. Not a little bit. I got books. I was spending thousands and thousands of dollars to find this. I was searching with all I got. That's why you can't come in here and mess with me on this stuff. You better bring your A game plus. You better be like way out there studying. You come in here talking on this platform, nonsense. It'll take us about 2 or 3 questions, tear you down with that nonsense. Humble yourself. You got a chance to enter the kingdom. But you got to humble yourself. Now watch this. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you how ridiculous this is. This is common sense what I'm getting ready to do. And it's just basic math. All right? Put one and one together. Watch this. All right. This is called a Holy Bible. This is pagan. 2 words. This is the King James Version, right? King James. This is a bucket of trash. I'm going to tell you why. Because This is based off the Greek minuscule majority text. Now, the majority text, there's 5,800 plus of them. Almost 6,000 majority texts, okay? Almost 6,000. Now, their methodology to come to a conclusion is majority. That means if they've got 200, so out of the 5,800, if 3,000, let's go like this, if 4,000 of them have a line, have a verse that says the same thing, and then another one, but the 4,000, all of them are wrong. But then there's 3,000 plus that have the verse right. They'll say, hold on, the majority wins, even though the majority is wrong. Just because it's the majority, they will let that text be in there when the 3,000 of them could have been the ones that had got it corrected. They'll throw it aside. They'll throw the 3,000 right ones out the door and take the 4,000, the 4,000 or the 2,000. I'm getting to 6,000. Y'all bear with me. So if 2,000 are right, 4,000 are wrong, they'll take the 2,000, throw it out, even though the 2,000 is right. But the 2,000 could have been the 2,000 that said, oh, we corrected this. But they'll stick with the 4,000 because it's the majority. That is why it's dangerous to deal with the democracy. It's dangerous because the majority rules, even if the majority is wrong. The majority can be swayed by media, by outside influences, by all of that. But see, when you deal with the real deal, you don't need to deal with no democracy majority. You just write down what it says. Look, the feast said it. Right is right. So this King James is completely based upon that flawed methodology to get into the world. Now, why did they want to go use that methodology? I'm going to show you. So there's 5,800, almost 6,000 minuscule. So the Greek is written in capital letters, lowercase letters, and has spaces, kind of like we write in English, right? But the original Greek is called majuscule, unsealed Greek. It's all capital letters, no spaces. It's all capital letters, no spaces. Now you today, you're sitting there in your mind going, how would it be able to read that? Well, they grew up reading like that and they understood it completely. All capital letters, no spaces. They knew exactly what it said. So this is what's called a Codex Sinaiticus. Okay? This is a minority text. They call it the majority text. So the human brain, they tricking you by going, oh, the majority. We don't ask your pastor. Why don't you deal with the minority text? Well, that's the minority. It's less agreeable than the majority. But what if the minority is right? Now, if you were going to use Greek, wouldn't you want to use the original Greek? Or would you want to use the second version Greek? See, the original Greek, I'm going to show you. Pay attention. I'm going to put it on the screen. You see that? That's all capital letters, no spaces. Those are columns, but those are sentences. So that's 3 different columns on each one of these pages. That's got 4 columns over there, but those are complete sentences. All capital letters, no spaces. This is the oldest complete, look at it. That's the oldest complete original Greek New Testament in the world. This is the oldest. And it's complete. Matthew all the way to Revelation. Now guess why they don't want to use this one? They don't want to use the Codex Sinaiticus Because when you get to the Savior's name, what they did in the majority text, they changed it to Jesus. I can prove this all day long. Who want to put some money up? Don't be talking. Put some money up if you think this is wrong. What, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000? What you want to put up? If you can prove what I'm saying is wrong. Hey, I've been challenging that for 17 years. There's not been one person take me up on that challenge. I used to run a $10,000 challenge all the time. People, oh, they talking crazy. I'm like, look, we're going to wire 10,000 into a generic escrow account. You put 10,000 in there. If you're right, you get the 10,000. You put it towards your building fund. Y'all always want to build some more buildings. Here, guess how many take you up? None. They just talking. Because they don't want to use this. Because when you get to the Savior's name in here, it says Yahoo Crew. Yahoo Crew. It don't say Jesus. It says Yahoo Crew. C-R-U. Crew in Greek is like king, anointed, sign named Christ. Yahoo, the anointed. Yahoo, the Savior, the King. They don't want to put that in there. There is not one time in the Codex Sinaiticus, the original Greek, not one time is Jesus in here. Not once. Not one time. But see, well, that's just that one. Well, what about the Codex Alexandrinus? You see that one? The Codex Alexandrinus is not all the way complete, but it's close. Guess what it's got? All capital letters, no spaces. That's 2 columns. All capital letters, that's the book of John. All capital letters, no spaces. Every time it gets to the Savior's name, Yahoo Crew. So every time it gets to Yahusha's name, then why does it say crew and not Yahusha? Because in Greek, there's no shin sound. There's no sh, no sh sound. There's no sh sound in Greek. That's why they don't do it. That's why they had to put it Yahoo Crew. So they were translating from the Aramaic and the Hebrew into the Greek. And when they first translated from the Aramaic and the Hebrew into the Greek, they translated it like these. Guess who else got it like that? This is the funny part. Guess who else has got it? This is hilarious. The Codex Vaticanus. So the Codex Vaticanus, guess where this is located? In the Vatican. In the Vatican. In the Catholic Vatican, the original Codex, this is a certified facsimile. So it's just like it. But look, y'all ready? All capital letters, no spaces. Every time they get to the Savior's name in the Codex Vaticanus, Yahoo Crew. Every time. So don't play games. If you're going to stand on the Greek, stand on the original Greek. Get 10 toes down with the original Greek, and then when you get there and it starts talking about when the Savior walked on the earth, it's going to say Yahoo Crew. Why don't you want to use that? The reason you don't want to use it is because the good old boys, Constantine and them, the Council of Nicaea, they said, no. We got to create a new deity, a new Savior. We can't follow that Yahusha, who is Yahuwah, who's this Yahoo Crew. We can't be saying that Yahoo is the king. We got to come up with something else. So they debated over this for 4 years. And after 4 years, about 500 of them, bishops, they broke it down. They came down to about 5 different deities, pagans, Zeus, Horus, Caesar. It was a nut job. Curtis said, I need this send to some people. Why? I got the receipts. What them young people say? Anytime I pull out these receipts, you can't do nothing but sit there and just listen. Why did they not use this? Because they came up and said, we have voted. They ratified it. They came up with two deities, Zeus and Krishna. Zeus and Krishna. So when you say Jesus Christ, you done fell for the okie doke. They done put the move on you, and they don't want to come out of it because now they got this multi-billion-dollar conglomerate business set up based upon Zeus and Krishna. And so they said, how are we going to do this? So they said, let's transliterate Yahoo crew into Jesus. Listen to the crew. Christo. We're going to take it from Yahoo crew and we're going to put Jesus. What's EA mean? Hell. Praise to Zeus. Crew. We're going to change the crew to Christo. Oh, there we go. We got it. The Christ, the anointed one. We can do this. And they did it. And almost every one of you and me and I, we fell for it. We got okie doke. We fell for it. So, unlike a lot of people, we said, I repent. Yahuwah. Our fathers haven't given us nothing but lies. That's what the scripture says is going to happen. We have inherited nothing but lies. Yeshayahu, Yirmiyahu, all of them prophets were saying, y'all going to inherit lies. Because somehow or another, your greats, they ran after other mighty ones that are not mighty ones. So anytime somebody come and approach me going, hey, it was originally written in Greek, I say if it was, where's your Codex Sinaiticus version at? Where's your Codex Alexandrius? Y'all can clip this and go challenge people with it. Where's your Codex Sinaiticus version of the Greek? Where's your Codex Vaticanus and Alexandrius? If you bring me those versions, if it was originally written in Greek, if you bring me those versions, I will at least look at them. Guess how many people are going to show up to the party? None. They're not coming. They're not coming. So don't come talking to us about no Greek because you won't even play the Greek game. Have I emphasized this enough while I've been doing these lives? Because everybody gets to, no, it's originally written in Greek. I say if it was, it ain't written in the Greek you're talking about. Have you ever heard of a Codex Sinaiticus? People are like, huh? They found it at the bottom of a monastery at the bottom of Mount Sinai. That's why they called it the Sinaiticus, Sinaiticus. It was sitting in the back on a shelf, dusty. And it's sitting there with the bomb on them, and they hate it. They hate this. Every pastor you know hates this version, these versions. They hate them. It will shoot a hole in Jesus' head fast. They don't want nothing to do with these original Greeks. So, did we just tear that lie down? Did we tear it down? Did we smoke that thing? Think about what we just did in this session. We just tore this lie into shreds. I think we're going to clip this out and make this short. This is so good. Woo! This is blazing. Our family can go approach everybody and say, don't talk to me about any Greek because you won't even deal with the original Greek. Come on, Adam Moore. My brother out of Canada. Look at it. I'm going to put him up. My brother Adam Moore out of Canada. What did he say? Now listen. Brother Adam said, gave us a nice super. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Brother Jay and PTT team for teaching Yahuwah's true word. Keep up the good work. That's what we talking about. I come on here. I'm not coming over here selling no wolf tickets. Just barking. I'm on here with full passion. Y'all know I believe what I believe. You can't move me to the left or the right off of this because you can't make it make sense. If I give you the respect of talking about the Greek, you can't bring me what I know. I know. Listen, you know what's funny? I know this. I know how to read this. That's what them 6 to 10 hours a day for 3 years did for me. That's why you can't mess with the game. Brother Daniel coming in doing some Malakuta de Yahuwah business. Kingdom of Yahuwah business, my brother Daniel. Yeah, they can't come and mess with us with this Greek. So what happens is, what had happened was this. Shannon, here's what happened. The original writings of the Bariyt Hadash were written primarily in Aramaic. Why Aramaic? They had got the children of Yisrael, of Yahuwah, got taken into captivity into Babylon. Why? They started running out the other mighty ones, other gods. So Yahuwah gave them up. So when they went into Babylon, it took on their language. Now, the thing I like about Aramaic, it's like slang. Like, slang, you got English and you got slang English. So like the people, thank you, Brother Larry. So the people in England, over in Great Britain, they think the USA language is slang. Slang English. So the Aramaic is like the slang Hebrew. So if you want to compare, it'd be like the Great Britain, the England English versus the USA English. You got and so they're close. And they got different nuances. And it ain't going to throw you way out. That's what I like about it. You ain't going to go way out nowhere. Some people get tore up and go, well, that's the language of our captors. All it is, we can say that about Great Britain. We talking USA English, and we over here talking the language of our captors. They had us enslaved over there under that king's rulership forever. No, we got a different version of it. As long as it ain't so distorted from what they're saying, and everybody can clearly understand it. All right, we're rocking. So Aramaic is just like that. So I vows for that for y'all. Been studying for a long time. Y'all with it? So, of all the books in the Bariyt Hadash, only 4 of them were written in Abari that I've been able to find. Only 4. Matthew, Acts, that's Mahashim, Abarim, Hebrews, and Revelation. Hazum. The rest of them were written in the common language that they spoke in. They spoke out and about, commerce, daily life. When Yahushua came to the earth, all throughout their common talk, it was Aramaic, Aramite. All right? They just talked, that was the common language. When they went into the Ahikal, that's the temple, they talked primarily Abari because the Tanakh is completely, the Old Testament is completely written in Hebrew, Abari. So that's how they knew that language too. But common talk was going to be Aramaic. So if Matati Yahu, Matthew, right? Yahuhanan, John, Kappa, Peter, Yaakov, James, if they're sitting there walking with Yahushua, who's primarily day to day talking Aramaic, then when they go with them into the iconic temple, they hear him talking Abari, but predominantly they hear him talking the language of the day, of the land. And they start writing down their accounts of what happened. What language they gonna write it in? Now, there is not any record of any of them knowing Greek. None. Well, where's the people showing up with that stuff? Somebody should be going, man, Kappa was fluent in Greek. Y'all dig what I'm saying? Shouldn't there be some people show up and go, man, hey, Yahuhanan, he fluent in Greek. We don't hear nobody showing up saying that these 12 that walked with Yahusha wrote anything, talked about anything. As a matter of fact, we know it's very contentious to even be around anybody that was Greek. It was contentious. How we know? Because when Yahuwah poured his spirit out on them in that upper room, are y'all listening to me? Are y'all listening carefully? Because I'm teaching right now. I'm really teaching. I don't know where this came from. I didn't even know what I was going to talk about. It's just go time. So Yahuwah got me really teaching. This is a good one, ain't it? Now watch. We know when Yahuwah poured the spirit out on the Shabbat, when they was in that upper room, he poured it out. Now who was there? Those that were Yahudim, right? The Hebrews, right? Okay. So now the word starts spreading. Kappa goes to this other town. Then there is a Greek Gentile commander of an army. There's a messenger shows up to him from Yahuwah and tells him to go get Kappa from this town and bring him back to his house. Now this guy's a Gentile, Greek. Commander, general. He sends a group of people to go get Kappa. Kappa is sitting there having a dream. And he's dreaming about all these animals, clean and unclean. Thank you, Brother Robert. I see you. So he's dreaming about it, and he don't know what to make of this dream. But these people show up. He didn't know they're going to show up. And they say, we were sent by our general to come and tell you, you got to come here because a messenger of Yahuwah sent him, and you got something to tell the people. Now, Kappa, thank you, Sister Queen. Are y'all getting this? Kappa, he don't know what to do other than, man, I got to go. Because the Spirit told him, spoke to him. Yahuwah spoke to him and said, go with these people. You'll figure it out. When he goes with the people, he's there. The man got a posse of people in his house. He done called his mama, his daddy. He got everybody, his friends, everybody come over here. They're all Gentiles. They're all Greeks. Kappa walks in the house. And the guy looks at him and said, he tells him, he said, this is the dream I had. He said, but then a messenger showed up, literally, and talked to me and said that I found favor in Yahuwah's eyes. And Kappa said, they're looking at it. I found favor, and I'm supposed to go get you because you're supposed to tell us something. And then right there, Kappa said, now I know that Yahuwah is no respecter of people. He shows favor. He's ready to show favor to the nations. As Kappa's talking and realizing what his dream was about, it wasn't about eating unclean food. It was about accepting Greeks that they detested. So we know that these writings weren't originally in Greek because they didn't want nothing to do with the people. And Kappa was having a hard time gripping this. And he had 6 other people with him. But as Kappa's talking, the set apart spirit comes down on these Gentiles, these Greeks. And they start speaking in other languages. And Kappa's like, goodness gracious. Yahuwah's doing the thing. Yahuwah's about to take this out to the world. Now, how do we know it still wasn't right with the people? Because when Kappa gets back to Jerusalem, they was mad at him. A whole gang of Yahudim, Hebrews, was vehemently upset with Kappa. They was upset. They said, you went and was eating with them Greeks, with them Gentiles. We got a problem with you. The reason I'm establishing this point is because that crushes, it's originally written in the Greek language, because all these people was against, they were no. You all understand? So Kappa said, wait a minute. Let me explain, before y'all get all on my butt, let me explain to y'all what happened to me. Y'all know me. This is Kappa here. Y'all know what Yahusha said about me. He said on me, I'm his rock. He gonna build his assembly. Y'all know who's talking here. Don't be tripping. Let me explain what happened here. They ain't ready to get him. They tore up his Kappa. What you doing eating with them Greeks, them Gentiles? What you doing? Kappa like, no, wait a minute. I was sitting there and I was having a dream. He tells them about this cape that comes down, this curtain, and these clean and unclean animals. He goes through the whole story with them. He said, next thing I know, this dude show up and said that a messenger of Yahuwah. I went there. He said, now y'all listen. Y'all remember when we was in that upper room and the spirit of Yahuwah came down on us and filled us with his set apart spirit? They said, yeah. He said he did the same thing to them. And the 6 people that were with Kappa sitting there going, yep, it happened. Yep. So then all the people went, whoa, Yahuwah for reals, you're ready to take it to the world. Why? Because most of the people rejected him that was his people, the Yahudim, the quote Hebrews. Most of them rejected him. He said, y'all rejected, I'm going to take it to the world, to the Gentiles, to the Greeks. Y'all understand? But, hey, to get them writings in the Greek, no. It took some time because people had to get trained up in the way it should go. It wasn't the Hebrews, the Abarim, learning the Greek, the Uni. It wasn't them learning the Uni, the Greek. It was the other way around. Nobody teach that. The Greeks, the Gentiles, started learning Aramaic and Abari. It's the other way around. Come on, Sister Bernita. It wasn't that they went to go learn Greek. It was that the Greeks went to learn what they were saying. Who's taught that? I can prove that. Who's taught that? Everybody in the world's acting like they got to go learn the Greek. They resisted that. I'm telling y'all. They was against time to figure that. They was like, all right, we'll accept y'all, and then they gave them regiments. Because then they had to deal with the circumcision issue. I'm telling y'all, it ain't what you've been thinking your whole life. Your grandmama and grandma and granddad, they lied to you because they didn't know no better. And they probably didn't go search for it with all their heart. That's going to be the issue. So either they lied or they didn't go search for them. All right, everybody got that? So the true scriptures is set up now. So the true scriptures said, hey, what are we doing? Why are we going to mess with the Greek when the origins of that language and that culture, the reason they detested them so much is because they're full of pagans. Zeus, Pegasus, Dionysus, so many uses. That's why when you see a name that ends in US, it's more than likely Zeus worship. That's why it's Jesus, Pegasus. All these us names is to praise Zeus. Ain't y'all figured that out? Thinking about this. This ain't even difficult to get. So here we go. We said we're not gonna mess with no Zeus stuff. Why? Like if we were, guess what? If I was gonna do it, where am I gonna do it from? If I was gonna translate the New Testament, I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go to the oldest complete. I'm gonna do the Codex Sinaiticus. Thank you, Brother Edwin. You see what I'm saying, Sister Queen? If I was going to do the Greek, I'm going to the Codex Sinaiticus. But when I read the Codex Sinaiticus, it's got jacked up stuff all in there. At least it's got his name as Yahoo Crew. But as far as the reasoning, the culture, the idioms, it's Greekified. It's Greeked up. So you can't get the true essence of Yahushua when he walked on the earth of his teachings. You can't get it from the Greek. It don't blend. It's like oil and water. But if we got the Pshitta, back to the Pshitta, 360 different versions, over 1,500 years. That means somebody did a copy, somebody else did a copy. Somebody else, 360 different copies got made over a 1,500 year period, 1,500 year period, in multiple geographical regions, different countries. These Pshittas showed up in. They're all in Aramaic, okay? Front to back. Matthew to Revelation. Matati Yahudah Hazoo, Revelation, all in Aramaic. When they looked at them and put them all 360 side by side, listen to the difference. When they went and did the majority text, the Greek, they put those 5,800, it's like 400,000 errors. It's errors all over the place. When they put the 360 next to each other, they're virtually identical. They virtually all agree with each other over 1,500 years. They don't have any contradictions in them about the Savior. They write the right stuff about Shaul, Paul. You can't call Paul a false prophet from the Aramaic Pshitta. You can't. It's correctly written to understand him. If you go get Shaul's writings from the Greek, you for sure gonna think he's a false prophet. Because they're going to use it to mix in all their paganistic ways. That's how they can do it. You can do that with the Greek. I'm so thankful you not in the street and scream. Right. Am I making sense? Have I laid this out good for everybody? Right? Have I helped everybody understand this in a very logical way? I'm passionate. I'm getting up. My voice is raised. I'm all fired up. But I hope that I came in here and did a good job of having you understand why the true scriptures are so critical. Did I do okay to get everybody to get this? Check the chat. Okay, thank y'all. Everybody give me some good feedback. Perfectly. Yes, sir. Very good. Okay. Come on, Adam Moore. He coming back in, firing it up. You see? So what we're doing now, come on, here's what we're doing. We're going to take the true scriptures that I'm the lead translator, and I have assistance from some great support staff. They don't know it like I know it, but they know it good enough to catch stuff, to point out, because I'm just down in the trenches, just translate. Right? Just translate. So I got people that review and look at that and go, all right, hey, you missed that? Oh, God, thank you. That type of stuff. So while I was translating it, I would do these lives and I would go, hey, I'm going to show y'all exactly critical errors that'll cost you your salvation. Thank you, Sister Denise, doing some kingdom business. Did not come on here. I would go. I did it time and time. And y'all got to understand. Those of y'all that are new, go back and look at the lives. And do comments too. Like, get into it. I like when I go in there and look and I see people going back and in a comment like you was there. It'd be great for your teaching and understanding. Man, we were tearing stuff down. We've been over 8 months just ripping that Greek translation to shred. And we've exposed, we ain't trying to be disrespectful to nobody. We just saying, look, Yahuwah's word got to be brought to the forefront in an unadulterated way. It can't have no distortions, no contradictions. If you put a version out and you remove the pagan names, we really, really appreciate it because we've all used them. A lot of us have, and it's been helpful. What we're saying here is the true scripture should inspire everybody that's got versions out to tighten up their versions. You can't have contradictions and get people saved. Can't do it. You can't do it. You're going to end up losing your eternal life off the wrong word. Satan, if he was going to trick you, which this is his whole mission, he don't ever sleep on trying to trick you and me and us. He don't never sleep on it. That's why Yahuwah says, stay alert, be on guard, guard the commandments, lest you fall into temptation. You get caught slipping. What happened is your mama, your daddy, your grandparents, they got caught slipping. Your great-great-greats, they didn't stay on guard. They didn't guard it. You got to guard the commandments. First and foremost, if you guard the commandments, you're going to stay strong. Come on, Gregory. Gregory said, man, this is better than the news. It's about time I learned the truth. Yeah. If you just stay in there, guard the commandments, we have a platform you should be praying for. You should be supporting. Like, for real. Because we don't cut no corners on this thing. Because we live our lives this way. We know how to follow Yahuwah. We've proven it over and over. We got complete peace in our life. Sleep good. Wake up excited. Get persecuted. We know we're on the point. Happy through the persecutions. We're very disciplined. We can teach you over time how to get disciplined. Some of y'all need a soulmate. Don't you want to be with the person, man, that turns you out? Stop settling. You can have your soulmate. You might be with the wrong person right now. I'm gonna tell you. If they're the right person, they're gonna drop their nets and they're gonna follow Yahuwah. This is all simple. Now you're gonna have to make some tough decisions, but it's simple. And Yahuwah will never leave you or forsake you or let you be on the other side without putting you on the top. You might have to go on and do what I did. Man, I'm telling y'all. I had to get me a soulmate. Now, I was with someone before, and I had to hand that person a certificate of divorce. And that person had claimed to call on Yahuwah. I ever tell y'all that? I don't think I told y'all that. But that person didn't want to follow Yahuwah the way Yahuwah said, guard the commandments. And I kept giving a chance and giving a chance and giving a chance. 1 second, let me get this battery. I kept on trying to give a chance. That's why I'm telling you, I know. I went to Yahuwah. Yahuwah said, hey, I'll give you the desires of your heart. You got to divorce yourself from everything and everybody that don't love him, but all they got. That's what I did. Say what you want to say. Man, it wasn't shortly after that. Boom, Lena showed up. And I was sitting around talking to a group of people explaining about Yahuwah. I had no idea she done went in the shower and called on Yahuwah on her own. I had no idea. And then we more and more try, and I tested. Now here's how you follow Yahuwah. Me and you, I can tell we're attracted coming together. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't touching you. We ain't busting no slobs. We ain't kissing. We ain't doing nothing. Unless you are immersed into the name of Yahuwah. I'm attracted to you like that. I feel like you my soulmate. But if you ain't gonna drop your nets and follow him with all you got, I'm out. Ask her. I'm gone. Tell Lena, tell her. She'll tell you I was gone. Because I knew that Yahuwah was gonna bring me the right person to be by my side. I knew it. That's a real word. Joe got it. You know busting slobs if you follow Yahuwah. Hey, I'm talking country too, telling y'all the truth. I'm a country boy. So I did it. He brought me desires of my heart. She said, what do you see when you see me? I said, you're the mother of my children. And I had this little suit. Lena, we got to show them that picture. I had this little suit. Now, Yahuwah spoke to me in a Walmart one time. Before I knew who he was, I'm telling you this. I heard something speak to me. I can't say it was Yahuwah. I can't say that because I didn't know his name called. But something in me said, I'm in Walmart. They're changing my oil on my gas. I mean, in my car. Changing my oil, right? In the car. I got a shopping cart. You know, like in Walmart when I was in the States, I'm walking around. They got a good little system. We're going to change your oil, go buy some stuff. I'm walking around. I had to pick up this and that. I come down by the baby aisle, and I see two little baby outfits. The exact same. And they had a little baseball stuff on them. You know, I used to play baseball and stuff. And I heard something in me say, buy both of them. This was way before I knew anything about Lena. So I didn't know what. I'm just telling y'all, it was funny. I grabbed these two things, put them in my cart. These two little baby outfits. Got checked out. The person was looking at me at the register. Oh, you know, I didn't know what to say about it. I was like, I don't know. I didn't know what to say. The person was asking me, "Oh, you got a kid or whatever?" I'm like, "No." Why you buy? I don't know. I'm gonna check out. So I put these two little boys, baby outfits in the cart. And I go on. I'm driving home. I hear something in my spirit say, "Go over to your sister's house and hand her one of these." So I go over to my sister's house. I knock on the door. She goes, "Hey, what's going on?" I said, "Hey, I'm supposed to give you this." She goes, "For what?" I ain't pregnant. She was just getting a little serious in her relationship at the time with somebody she was with. I said, "I don't know. You're supposed to take this. I'm supposed to have one." The next year, my sister gets married. She gets pregnant. She has a little boy. I had mine hanging up several years. Wherever I move, I had it in the closet. I take it. I put it up. I get with Lena. She said, "Where you seeing me?" I said, "You're the mother of my child." In my mind, I know that outfit in my closet is going to get filled. Me and Lena together 2 years. Been married 2 years. As a matter of fact, pagan month, so July 29th, 2014, that's just a few days ago, 10 years ago, we find out Lena's pregnant. So after a while, we go to the doctor. They're going to do the test on what's the baby. This doctor's supposed to give the early indication what the baby is. He says the baby's going to be a little, he said 85% I pick him early, 85% of the time, he goes, y'all having a little girl. I said, no, we're not. But you know, it does something to you in the back of your brain. But then I was like, no. So when it came time to know, they said, no. You have a little boy. I said, that's that outfit. And when Kai turned 1 year old, it was two 1-year-old outfits. So when my nephew, I got a picture somewhere of him. When he turned 1, we got a picture of him in that outfit. And when Kai turned 1 year old, we got a picture of him in that outfit of what I heard in me in that store. Now, I don't know how I put it all together and why I'm telling y'all this story. I want to inspire somebody because Yahuwah knows those who are going to come to him when he's calling you now. Choose him and he will give you the desires of your heart. I desired to have a soulmate and I wanted a son first. That's what I wanted. And I asked Yahuwah to give it to me and he gave it to me. Bah, bah. I've asked him for other things. He keeps giving me what I'm asking. Now, I've asked him for this word to go out through the entire ends of the world so that we can make him proud. And Yahuwah said, I'll do it through you. He said, just keep talking. Just keep talking to the people. My sheep hear my voice. Don't pay any attention to detractors, to any haters, to any, he said, don't, he goes, get 144 people that love me with all they got, and they are passionate. And they gonna get these versions by the cases. And they gonna take them and they gonna sell some, say, hey, I already got yours. And then they gonna give some out. They gonna tithe to some. They gonna do the thing. And it's gonna get out through the world. Tell them, Brother Daniel Libby, what's going to happen. Tell them, Brother Daniel Libby, we're going to put it on the screen. He said, just keep talking. And then you're going to put, now the English language is corrected in the true scriptures. Come on, Brother Larry. I bear witness with that. Brother Joe said, hit the like button. Smash up the likes. Y'all hit them likes yet? The English, see, there's no pure version in the world. What they did is they took the King James trash, which I proved how it got here. You see? They took that King James, and then when they went over into Spanish, they took that corrupted King James, they took it into Spanish. They took it into French. They took it in all the other languages are derived off that King James English version. None of them went and did what we've done. None of them went and got the original and translated it. And if they did, they didn't call on Yahuwah. So we don't know of anyone in the world that is immersed into Yahuwah's name that did a translation of his word. I'm talking about immersed into his name. That's been tried and tested. In an eldership emissary capacity, we don't know anybody in the world that's done it except us. We don't know. Y'all might bring them up to the table. Show us somebody. I've been looking for them. I would have been rocking with them. I would have been selling and promoting their books, and I did. I bought these other people's books by the cases. Handing them out, bam, 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 bam. Doing the, well, hey, I said, but every time you see Elohim in there, that's pagan. I had to keep saying that stuff. But I was buying them by the cases. And then finally, we ain't got to do that no more. Thank you, Brother King. We ain't got to do it no more, fam. We now have go time. So in wrapping this up, what's going to happen is this. They say we're about 15 business days or so from everyone that got a pack, that are package qualified, I should say, not a pack. Hey, Lena, can you come and check my battery, babe, on this other computer? Thank you. Keeps messing up. And everybody that got package qualified in TSNT over at when we did the first campaign, that campaign ran from November the 9th, 2023. It ended on June the 30th. So everybody in that slot that got at least bronze package qualified, you're getting a professionally stamped, one of a kind. Each one of them will be individually stamped. So that makes them each one of a kind. So you'll have one of one. This one here ain't working right. This one here. So each one of them have an individual stamp. So it will make every one of them one of a kind. There's less than 400 of these going out. So these will be collector's items. We won't make any more. It'll be for those people. Now, if you look on the screen, you see tsinfo.org. This is for the new campaign from July 1st until we finish the project. We're in the middle of an 8-week campaign. At the end of August, it'll wrap up the 8 weeks of the campaign. Yeah, you got it. Everybody that's package qualified will go on a certain shirt. But what we're doing is this. In the next probably 2 to 3 days, it won't be no longer than a week. In the next 2 to 3 days, no longer than a week, we're shooting for 2 to 3 days, we will begin the pre-sale of the soft cover of the true scriptures. So you can get them individually, you can get them by the case. The people that are going to get notified first at a heavy discount are all package qualifiers from the first round. But if you are package qualified now with the new campaign, you will get the same access to the discount that all the other package qualifiers got. So you're going to get a special email that says, here's a special link for the deepest discount that they will ever be sold at. So you'll be able to go in and get, you want one, you want a case, you want 2 cases, what you want of the soft cover, because the hard cover are the special editions. We'll have the soft cover. It's going to be a beautiful soft cover too. I saw him doing the design today. Woo! It's going to be beautiful. So you'll be able to get those. Now we got 500 of them already that we're buying from Promote the Truth to hand out for free in strategic underprivileged places. So you, within a matter of a few months, these 500 will be strategically placed. Then we'll just keep buying more inside of Promote the Truth, and we'll just strategically put them out. So we want them to get out there into the millions. All right, now, so that's everybody that is package qualified. You get first access to pre-order. These ain't gonna run much longer behind. You're probably talking about a week or 2 behind the True Scriptures hardcovers going out. No longer than a week or 2. These are going to be getting shipped out. All right? So, anybody that contributes anything at all, you just go support anything. I think the lowest you can do is $3. If you go to tsinfo.org and contribute anything, you'll be the second notified. So you'll be notified second, and you will get the next largest discount. You won't get the largest discount of the package qualifiers, but you'll get the next largest discount. And so we're going to take care of the supporters first. Once those supporters are taken care of, and we see everybody got their orders in, and we're going to give us a period of time. We're going to say you got this much time to order, and the discount's going away, and then it's going to be the regular order for the world. I'm on the phone today and yesterday with the international distribution specialist and negotiating. And we're now working on programming the software so that it will handle international orders, calculate shipping rates, the whole 9. That's being done right now. That's why I say I'm hoping 2 to 3 days, no longer than a week, we're going to have that baby up. And we're going to do the pre-order. And then we're going to get promoting. And we're going to have commercials. We're going to have stuff going everywhere. So when you support, you're going to support the push. It's go time, baby. It's go time. Yahuwah's calling you to push. Can't you feel it? I got chills all over me. He goes, get me back here. He said, I'm not coming back until this word is preached, the Bashura, the real word, not the fake watered down, not the 400,000 errors. No. Not the Greek version. The version when he walked on the earth, how he taught, translated out the right way. It's in the true scriptures. It's the only one that's like it. There ain't no one like it. We done proved it. Me and this family in here, 8 months, we've been rocking in here. Hundreds of thousands of people. Somebody would have showed up by now and said, no, y'all got this wrong. Nobody. Crickets. Silent. Demons are silenced before Yahuwah's real word. Every knee must bow. That's the time that's coming. We part of this town. We part of the time where every knee will bow. Every tongue will confess that Yahuwah is Mashiach. Woo! Every knee. It's going to be one name. That's the Mashiach. But how you going to know that unless it's in the Word? The true scriptures has got his name right. It's got his title right. He's designated properly. He's positioned to return now. All we got to do is push. We just got to push. So put push in the chat. Put push in the chat. We got to push. That's what we got to do, fam. We the gold team. We the It's Go Time team. We just got to push. We got to get it out everywhere. We got to get it everywhere. We want to have strategic marketing relationships. I'm bringing in professionals. I'm bringing in high-level media people to strategize. How do we get this everywhere? I want to eventually have one in every hotel room. Push! QR codes, taking them to the name video. Woo! We got to push! So I'm going to come in with some more updates. I want to let y'all know, hey, get package qualified so you can be one of the first to order at that deep discount. You can get notified. Hey, you ain't nothing better you can be doing with your money right now. I'm telling you. You get this money, you plant it in fertile ground. Yahuwah gonna spread it out, and he gonna remember. This is where your name is being written in there. What you're doing now. Go read Hazum when it says in the book of life, the books were open. Not the book, the books. And everything you did is accounted for. When you help us rock this all over the place, you are building up your crowns. You're going to be counted worthy in the kingdom. You established the Most High. You took away the confusion. It's only Yahuwah. Push. I'll catch y'all in a little bit, man. Hopefully y'all can put up with my passion because I ain't turning down. I'm turning up. I'll talk to y'all soon. Push. In the name of Yahweh. Get it.